We're back down here at 4 with that story. Many of you are talking about that canine bite at Mayfair Mall last month. It is now the subject of a lawsuit from the woman in this video on her knees there. You see that dog locked onto her ankle, Amira Walls. Our 12 News legal analyst and defense attorney Dan Adams is joining us now here. That incident was from March 28th. Let's talk about the timing of this lawsuit. We're not even 2 weeks since that happened. Is that surprising?
Oh, absolutely. In any type of civil case, you usually have a period of investigation, research into the law that you want to use to bring a case, and then fashioning your criminal complaint. And here the plaintiff attorney has moved at really light speed to try to put all of that in a criminal complaint, which you all have. I reviewed it before today's newscast. It's really well done, and it points to several causes of action that seem to be on their face to be well warranted in this matter.
One of the words I see repeatedly in this lawsuit is negligence, saying the handler, Malcolm Ingram, was not properly trained. Quoting the lawsuit here, industry standards is that canine handlers are supposed to only be involved in managing the actions of control of the canine, not also trying to break up fights.
Oh, big time. So negligence, do you have a duty to another person? And here you have a security agency, you have a security guard, and you have a mall, all of which have a duty to keep people safe when they're shopping in the mall. And here, then you have to have a breach. Was that duty breached in some way? We've seen this video now a few times, and it's very clear that that at least the handler and the security agency breached that duty by allowing this dog to act in such a vicious and uncontrolled way. So on its face, I think this is a pretty good negligence case for the plaintiff.
And the dog, we understand, at least from the Wauwatosa police report, has been transferred to Indiana. That is attributed to Malcolm Ingram, the canine handler. With that, the lawyers for Amira Walls say that's something that should have never been done because it goes against the standards of us being able to quarantine or the regular public policies for health department in those cases of a dog bite.
Yeah, there's something called negligence per se, something you can basically bypass any of the common law theories of negligence if there's a law on point that's broken by a defendant. And here there is a clear law that says when there's a dog bite, you have to alert the authorities. They have to quarantine that dog for 10 days to make sure it's not rabid or has some other issue with it. Here, the company or the handler moved it out of state immediately so that quarantine and that inspection, frankly, couldn't happen. So that's another cause of action the plaintiffs have. And again, I think it's warranted.
Malcolm Ingram says he was fired less than 24 hours after this incident. Could that help or hurt Mayfair Mall and Andy Frame Services, the security company?
Well, I think it certainly shows that they acknowledge that there was a big issue here with his conduct when this happened. You know, we have allegations that he went to break up a fight with one hand and was holding the leash with the other. And again, this is a trained guard dog being placed into a chaotic situation. So a reasonable person would stand their distance, allow other security guards to deal with that issue, not be placed in a situation where he's multitasking, drops the leash, and this bite happens.
Any challenges legally, you think, for the plaintiffs in this case?
Certainly, they may try to remove the case to federal court, given that some of the corporations are stationed or headquartered out of state. And I imagine that there's going to be damages well beyond $75,000. So they could do that. There's also a question of whether the mall itself has any liability. Certainly, they had the premises and hired the security agency, but does that duty then extend to the mall itself? The plaintiff says it does, and I think that's a legal issue that's going to have to be sorted out in the courts.
The general counsel for Andy Frame Services, we have not heard from them since this lawsuit filed. We likely don't expect to because folks tend to not want to comment on pending litigation. We've also not heard from the folks at Mayfair Mall. Do you see, I know we don't expect them to, but this situation could, in your opinion, be very costly for these companies.
There's a theory, res ipsa loquitur, that's a Latin phrase that means the thing speaks for itself. When you see that video, you know that it's a security dog hired by a security firm and was engaged in that type of vicious attack on this woman. No matter what she was doing before clamped onto her ankle, I think the thing speaks for itself, and they're going to have to make, they're going to have to pay some damages here.
All right, Dan Adams, always good to talk to you.